AC, just coming off the Dallas game, especially on the defensive end of the floor, what carryover for you guys could apply to this matchup against Chicago?
I think we did a really good job of trying to protect the paint in that game. Neither team shot the ball well. Um, for us, we make a couple shots. It's probably a different script, and the fourth quarter is even less of a competition than it was. But for them, they make a couple more, and it's a close game. So just continuing to stay true to the stuff that we know can win games, like keeping off the foul line, protect the paint, and just being stingy defensively. Working for every single possession and not kind of getting lost in the flow of the game.
Obviously, you have a lot of familiarity with this team in this building. Just what's important for you guys coming into this matchup on both ends?
Yeah, I mean they're playing quick and all the movement that they had at the deadline. They got a bunch of guys on either expiring deals or in positions that they're trying to reach the next step in their career. So definitely guys that are motivated in that aspect, even if it's not for team success necessarily, but just making sure that we're locked in and have the details of what we need to do locked down.
And I was just curious, your perspective on Chet's impact defensively, obviously as a guy that's typically at the point of attack. What's it like for you knowing that that guy is back there and he's ready to protect the rim?
Yeah, I mean he probably has one or two a game where you think someone's got a shot or a layup and he comes out and blocks it and or at least alters it and changes the shot. It makes it's easy for us because we know we have a little bit of a safety net back there where we can pressure and be aggressive, which is how we like to play, and so it gives us a longer leash to go out there and kind of make plays and try to be aggressive.
Pretty much all season long, it's been next man up, guys. Starters out, 3 starters out tonight. How much does that help going into the game? You guys have played well with guys missing.
Yeah, I mean it's opportunity. I kind of mentioned that briefly a question or two ago. Just the NBA is about opportunity. When it comes up, you're either prepared and you get rewarded for playing well, or you're unprepared and you play poorly and you get passed up. So I think one of the great things about this team and this organization is just staying ready. We're very true to the work, very true to the process of things, and that doesn't go unnoticed by the team. And I think even with the starters out, they're very supportive of the guys that come in and play because they know it's opportunities that you don't necessarily get all the time.
Alex, obviously you came back here. I think it was like game 2 of last season. But what are your thoughts emotions when you come back to Chicago?
It's all positive. I mean, I love playing here. This was a great place to play. The city itself is one of my favorite places in the country. It's a great city. I told Casey yesterday I was going to dinner and I just texted my wife on the way. I was like, I miss the city. Like driving through the city it just has an aura about it that is kind of unmatched. And then the fans are great. Front office, coach staff. I have great relationships still. I think with everybody here. Obviously, only one player is still here that I played with, so that's a little different. But as far as my time here, I think it was a great, like I said, word opportunity for me, to kind of grow and achieve some stuff on a personal level that I might not have had in other places.
What about for this Oklahoma City Thunder team? Obviously, kind of experiencing some of the challenges maybe that come with coming back as a champion and trying to do it all over again.
Yeah, I mean that's stuff it's easy to talk about it, in game 0 at the beginning of the year. What are you going to expect to be in the champions? And you talk about all this stuff, but going through it is really the test and really where, you can take steps and grow as a team because, you are looking for minuscule details and small things that you can improve on after being the champions. There's not large changes that you're going to make to the identity, especially with how much we have returning. So for us, I think it's been good. It's like I said, it's with starters out through the year, even other guys. It's opportunity to work on your game, to develop some skills, to get your confidence up, your rhythm, and be ready for games late in the season.
Lou's a guy who obviously there's some national noise around him right now, but just as someone who's been around him for a few years, just how would you describe him as a person?
Who is that? Sorry. Oh, Lou. Lou's a great teammate. Consummate pro. I think his quiet demeanor probably gets overlooked because of the role he plays, but he's probably never 100% after game 10 of the year. And it's a lot of people in the NBA say that, and it's different when you're guarding the best players in the league night in, night out. He finally got recognized for first team all defense last year, and I think he's probably a couple behind. That's kind of how it goes. You got to earn your stripes. But just, consummate pro, great teammate. I don't have to ever worry about Lou showing up ready to play. And that's as a teammate in the NBA, like that's what you want. Like, you want to know what you're getting from guys night in, night out, and he's a guy I can rely on, every night.
What do you see from a guy like Brooks? Obviously, a tough rotation to crack as a rookie, but he's got in there a couple times and showed some things.
Yeah, I mean, as a two-way, that opportunity word again is the biggest thing. Being prepared when your chance comes and taking them, making the most of it. And I think he's done a good job. I think he's done a good job of kind of playing within himself, but also trying to push himself and become better, and make mistakes. That was the biggest thing I think for me in two-way was being comfortable and confident enough to go out and play, but not be afraid to make mistakes, because that's where the growth comes from.
Thanks, AC.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it.
Thunder's here in Chicago taking on the Bulls, part of a 3-game road swing, front end of a back-to-back. I've got Brooks Barnhizer here alongside me. And Brooks, we're in Chicago, not far from where you went to college at Northwestern. Just tell me what it's like to be back here for the first time as a professional, and to be walking into this building that is just a few miles away from where you were playing your ball.
Yeah, really surreal. I feel like it's a really cool opportunity, and it's funny. I think the Big Ten tournament's here a lot, so I played a lot of games in here, and it's just really cool to see that going from playing against teams like Penn State, Illinois in this building to now playing against the Bulls. So it's a really cool and just grateful moment.
So you know what the locker rooms are like already, the back hallways, all that stuff.
For sure.
Tell me about some of those experiences during college, and maybe how they forged you into the player that you are today, and what you were able to bring as sort of your player type into the NBA.
Yeah, I think the one great thing about Northwestern was just that, we were never the most talented team by any means when we took the court, but we were always, we kind of prided ourselves on being the hardest playing. And I think that really kind of molded me into kind of where my identity lies as a player, just trying to be a guy that can impact the game in many ways. If I get on the court, hopefully that, my team just got better in a couple of different ways, and not just one specific way. So I feel like that really is kind of where I try to hang my hat, and I think it's just something that I'm still trying to improve on and kind of garner up here with these guys and stuff. You see so many guys that are able to do it on the Thunder, so I'm just really trying to take from them and keep growing.
There's a level of intensity and tenacity defensively that's just the expectation on this team. How have you felt you've been able to kind of rise to that level coming into the NBA and coming into this team specifically?
Yeah, I think I've really it's been really cool for me just to kind of see where I'm at with a lot of that things. I think we played Detroit a little bit ago, and I think I was kind of fouling a little bit, but in a good way. There's a lot of mistakes that they'll live with if you're playing aggressive and stuff like that. So it's really cool to kind of just go from kind of seeing some fouls are good, some fouls are bad. It's really kind of intricate, but it's been really cool. And I've had guys like AC and Lou and Kaysen, guys who are unbelievable defenders, just kind of help me along the way.
You told me early this season that it was really special for you to be able to see yourself grow from game to game, to be able to come back, watch the film, and maybe have some experiences in the G League and then at the pros. You've had extended minutes. We just saw you the other night with the Blue, and then you've had extended minutes with the Thunder in situations like we saw down in San Antonio. What are you pulling, and how are you maybe compartmentalizing those different experiences?
Yeah, I think it's a great way to put it. Just the one great thing about the Blue for me is just going down and seeing that, kind of I can really impact the games in a lot of ways, whether it be scoring, kind of just, distributing the ball, getting rebounds, playing defense, things like that. So I think for me, the coolest thing about coming up here is, Mark's really told me, he made the transition from a G League head coach to an NBA head coach. And he was telling me, as a player, and I think I've really had a lot of success in the G League and with the Blue this year. And he was saying that success will carry over, just a matter of time and confidence and reps. And, I think, like you said, I've been able to get some reps in the San Antonio game, the Detroit game. So I just got to keep, plugging away every day, right foot in front of the other, and, just keep plugging away on trying to, grow my confidence. And I feel like, that really here at the end of the season, there'll be a lot of opportunity for that.
Well, yeah, and specifically tonight, too, here in this building, you got a handful of kind of main rotation guys out. What is maybe your mindset coming into this game specifically in terms of what you're going to be able to provide and need to give your team and to be able to execute to get a win?
Yeah, just whatever they need, just trying to stay ready. And, when I get in, being confident, not just being just the defensive guy or, I'm just going to worry about being aggressive on offense. Just a culmination of all those things, whatever they need, being aggressive and hopefully just, positively impact the game in as many ways as I can.
And then what do you see about this Chicago team right now? Of course, they didn't get the results on the scoreboard that they wanted to in last month, but played a great game the other night, and they've been a high-scoring team.
Yeah, a lot of just young guys that really are, they play really fast. They have a lot of really good guards. They're a really guard-heavy team, and I think, kind of like you said, they're trying to find their way right now. I think they got a couple of new pieces, but just a team that really, if you let them get, kind of like you said, let them get going, it can kind of turn into a track meet. And they can really get downhill. So we're just trying to really negate that and try to play on our terms. So hopefully we can do that tonight.
And just with that in mind, what are some maybe tone-setting things that you may try to do tonight when you check in to be able to mitigate some of that rhythm and flow for them?
Yeah, try not to let my man score. Try not to, just trying to bottle up as many actions as I can in the actions that I'm in. And I think a lot of times as a young player, you can get put in actions, and it's a really good thing if you can come in and just kind of keep the intensity going or improve the defense when you check in. So that's all I'll try to do tonight.
Yeah, when they call him up, Brooks is going to be ready. That's for sure. Good luck out there tonight, Brooks. Appreciate you.
Thank you, my guy. Thank you.
That's Brooks Barnhizer. I'm Nick Gallo, and this is Thunder Basketball.